Attention, Plan's 10-minute podcast begins now.
Welcome everybody to the Plan 10-minute podcast. My name is Nick Carlson. I'll be your host, and my co-host is Vincent Ranieri. Vinny, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Nick. Thank you.
Vinny and I run the marketing department at Plan Companies. You may be familiar with Plan. Over the past number of months. Online, we ran the Plan virtual town hall, which was a webinar series, and we did well over a dozen episodes. We had a number of different speakers on. Our most previous episode was on civil unrest that was pretty widely attended. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Plan, we are a real estate building services company. We specialize in janitorial, concierge, building security, and maintenance. We're based in New Jersey. We cover about a dozen or so states, including California. So today we're launching our new podcast series. We call it Plan's 10-minute podcast. Why 10 minutes? Vinny, why 10 minutes?
Well, we want to hold people's attention, right? Also ourselves and our guests' attention. And we feel if we went on for over an hour, we may lose the audience or, it's just too long of a time slot. We think in 10 minutes, our guests can come on. We can have a very informative, educational, and entertaining conversation. And 10 minutes just about covers that.
Good, and it also forces everybody on screen to keep it concise and to the point, right?
Yes, that's what we want.
Absolutely. So we put together a lot of different content. We do videos, we do whiteboard videos, blog posts. As I mentioned, we did the town hall. We did a virtual trade show, a lot of other things. But what is it about a podcast? Why have we decided to launch a podcast? Vin, you want to share that?
Sure. Over the summer months, we would occasionally have guests on a podcast, right? It wasn't anything, formal. We would just have people on to talk about some upcoming events, virtual events we were doing. And we found that the podcast series, the viewership was rising every time we would do that. And when we sit here and think, how can we get back in front of our audience when we're not going to trade shows where you'd see hundreds of people at a time? We think this podcast platform, which, is becoming so widely acceptable today, will allow us to reach as many prospects, clients, and our audience as possible.
And all the podcasts that we put up on YouTube were always pretty well viewed, right?
Yeah, everyone seemed to like it. Sitting down, having a nice conversation, something that has an even flow to it, and informative when the subject is what our audience wants to get an answer on or wants to learn a little bit more about. And we bring in the industry experts, which we always have for you. People watch.
They watch, they listen. We've found to be some of our most viewed content on our YouTube channel. So, so what can we expect? Some of the things that we're looking to do, like you said, we're bringing in industry experts to talk about different trends in building, property management, et cetera, right? Different vendors.
Exactly. You may be familiar, the audience may be familiar with these vendors from our town hall series, and there were also many of them were also vendors in our trade show series. American Pool, City Fire, CertaPro Painters, industry names out there. We want to bring their experts on to talk to our audience and maybe give some insight in what's happening in each of those sectors.
Mm-hmm. Right. Security has been a big topic for us. I know we've done a couple of different ones on security. We've actually had a couple of attorneys that we work with who have been on our virtual town hall and talked about various things. A lot going on, right? Are the pools open? Are the amenity areas open? What are they closed? How many people can go in there, et cetera, right? So it's it's kind of a moving target for us.
Yeah. And, during our trade shows and our virtual town halls, questions would come in left and right for all of our vendors. And, we only had an hour time slot to get to everybody's questions, and bringing them on here. I think we can kind of do more of a broader, more elaborate answer, what someone may be looking for.
That's definitely our hope. Yeah. So, as we produce this, we're going to, like we said, keep it at 10 minutes and maybe do it once a week, maybe twice a week. It depends. They're pretty short, so we should be able to publish them pretty quickly. Where are we hoping to have these available?
Well, in-house, of course, they're going to be on our YouTube channel in video form. There will also be links on our website. And, for the first time, we're going to take this podcast now and, launch it out to the podcast networks of the world that just keep growing. Apple Music, TuneIn, Spotify, SoundCloud. We think our voice can be heard over multiple channels, and some of the biggest that the podcast industry has. We're going to be right there.
Yeah, absolutely. So early on, as we were discussing this, Vin, you and I sat down and I think we came up with a list of about 25 different episode titles and guests that we'd be able to bring in. So that should help us out. But really, we don't want to be set in stone. It's 10 minutes. We want to keep it kind of free form. But what we really want to do is we really want to deliver something that our audience is going to find interesting and appreciate. So it's our hope that, as we move along, we're going to get comments from viewers, et cetera, and, interact with you in maybe in the notes section, et cetera, via email, however, to deliver content that you're interested in viewing and seeing that would be helpful to you, right?
100%. We've outlined in, like you said, numerous weeks, numerous months of content, but we're always open to new suggestions and new comments and new topics. There may be something you're hearing in the property management industry that we should address right now, and if that's the case, we'd love to bring in the experts or ourselves. Even, we're experts in the 4 categories Nick mentioned in the beginning, and we may have something to say. So it's free flowing. There's no set rules to this. We want to be interactive. We want to be fun.
Good. So this is our introductory podcast right now. I think our next episode will be technically episode number 2, but it'll be our first one with a guest. We should be seeing that within the next couple of days, and we're looking forward to it.
Thank you, Nick. And thank you, everybody, for watching this one. And we look forward to having you.
All right. Thank you.